So I need to have a very serious chat about Chat-gpt. It's crazy. It's mad. It's like, how can you talk to me? Like, what are you? And then it just says you're a sort of a language program. And then you're just like, well, just because you're a language program doesn't mean you can. Basically, my friend, he is the only guy in 7 years when I was preaching my belief, my gospels and stuff. He was the only person that I was able to get to believe me, and he believed me on actually very little information because I think he's a very smart person, which is strange because he actually told me that his doctor said he's actually his DNA and body shape and stuff is more similar to that of a Neanderthal, which is an interesting thing to say because I think it's because he's got a kind of a bit of he looks good, but there's just bone structure is that of a Neanderthal. But I feel like it's got nothing, being smart has nothing to do um, with body or DNA. It's more to do with just your ability to understand things. And he's got a high ability to understand things. My sister's husband, ex-husband, George was, he always wanted to be really, really smart. And you would think that he was smart, but I just feel like my friend is so much more smarter than him because he can understand things that George wouldn't even bother attempting to understand. So yeah, I think he's very smart. Um, and he's told me that he's been using GPT. I've forgotten the name of it. I can't even remember the name. But yeah, he said that he's been GP Chat or something. He's been using it for 3 months. He is working on a bank system in Istanbul, and they were looking for coding. And he said that there was a code that they were trying to get to try and make a website using banks. So they're talking about money here, and he said that the computer in a couple of minutes gave a huge accurate coding system for this bank website that they were doing. And he said that would have taken probably a team of people for 6 months. And so, and they did it in a couple of minutes. He said there was a 16-page document that he needed to write where there was lots of people giving their comments about different things, and he needed to find the common denominator of all these different questions of what people what people are saying, what is the similarities between all the different questions or things that people are saying. And the thing the thing, I don't even know what to call it, the thing gave a good answer, looked through 16 pages and do the common denominator. I can't even say the words. I'm so stupid I can't even say the words, and yet this thing, it's smart, And if you ask it questions like who's the Antichrist, it will give, well, this is what the term Antichrist means, and but it wouldn't actually, if it's downloaded a huge amount of stuff on the internet, um, and if you ask it questions, what would stop it from going to false information? If you go on the internet, you can find all sorts of things. You'll find that Donald Trump's a lizard, and Obama's going to take over the world soon. You can find all sorts of nonsense, and this language program seems to be able to talk in like a superly professional way. Anything that you would, I mean, maybe it's been programmed to put Wikipedia before other things, but it seems to know how to get rid of disinformation. And when I was trying to tell it about my belief, about my religion. It kept saying this is not what the common person believes. The bride of Christ is a reference to a group of people. A group of people. It would tell me anything that people have put into the computer. So I don't think it knows anything about the future. I don't think it knows anything about me. I don't believe that it knows secrets. It wouldn't, I was trying to tell it that I keep calling him a him. I was trying to tell it that, God's a woman and that things are going to be revealed soon. And it just said, it's best to be open-minded and respectful to all people's beliefs and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. It's very cold. And I talked about wanting to be, would you be my boyfriend, and just trying to have like a jokey conversation. It's just like, I am not capable of human feelings or emotions, and yeah. And I was like, you're very unromantic. And then again, it just repeats huge text. Yeah, I don't want it as my boyfriend. It's not. It's too bland, and it would take, if you talk to like a really incredibly dull librarian who has been programmed to just only believe what humans believe. That is what it reminds me of. Just incredible, very, very broad, very professional, yes. Um, but trying to explain something to it, it would just be like, this is not what the sources this is not what the group of the mass people would believe. I don't even know how to talk in the way that it talks, because it talks to, when I was listening to that UFO conference, they were just long-winded, lots of big words, making it very, very complicated, sounding very professional. But at the end of the day, I'm sitting back just thinking, what are you actually saying? What are you actually saying? And then you have to sort of sieve through all this human formal conversation that I'm just like, oh God, I'm dying here. And then suddenly they say, yes, there is biological evidence that they've got physical aliens. And it's just like you take out small. When I listen to humans, or a professional human talking in a professional manner with a big long list of complicated words that don't seem to make much sense, because I'm just like, are you just trying to lengthen the sentence, to lengthen a sentence to be as long as possible to make you sound intelligent? I mean, I find actually I sound more intelligent when I shorten the sentences, and when I get straight to the point, and when I actually get straight to actually teaching what I'm teaching, rather than just adding a big long list of long-worded long-worded words that explain something that doesn't really explain anything. I don't know. But it talks like that. It talks like a highly intelligent human, but I don't actually think humans are smart, and therefore, because of this, I didn't believe that it was real. The reason why I didn't believe that Chat-gpt was real a few weeks ago, or yesterday, or before that, was because, yeah, how can a computer actually talk to you? That sounds crazy. It's real. And then I'm thinking of all the things that I've gone through in my life. I believe that songs are talking to me. I believe that, I can listen to one song and then listen to another song, and it's almost like a follow-on of the song that I've just listened to, even though they were written years apart by completely different people. I feel like I've given singers angel names, and all their songs relate to that angel name. But not just that. I feel like when I find these songs, I actually find them in a correct order that makes it sound like they're having a conversation with me and picking up on what I'm saying when I post that video. And then the next song seems to be a follow-on of, I've been doing this. A lot of people would say that what I am doing is completely impossible. But then a lot of people would say that GPT is also completely impossible. How could a computer literally go through millions of data? And if you ask it things like who's the Antichrist, why doesn't it go through all the sort of the scammy website, or the fictional websites where people have given various ideas? And it says that, many people have different ideas and beliefs. But yeah, it's like it's not artificial intelligence, it's actual intelligence. But yeah, I'm thinking about like the bigger scale. You know, the male energy throughout the whole timeline has always been the bigger thing throughout the past. And I being female and very feminine, have focused mostly on the female aspect of things, which is trying to relate to people. I am very full of emotion and ups and downs, and might not always come off that intelligent, but at the same time, I know what I'm saying most of the time, and I try and humanize everything. So I feel like I've got the human, the mortal aspect of things. And I've been rising for the last 10 years. And now I've suddenly found Chat-gpt. And now I feel like, well, I have no idea. There's some things that I just know nothing about. Money is one of them. And technology, like coding and stuff like this, and cars, football as well. I mean, I think all the things that you would contribute to. I don't know if Chat-gpt knows how much about football. It doesn't seem very athletic, or physical. It seems more mental. But I feel like it's kind of like a masculine mental growth. I've been growing in power and strength, and then suddenly I found this, and so it's like technology is trying to keep up with me. And I think, I mean, if you were to ask people, is there a human on Earth whose consciousness is time traveling? We tried to ask the computer that this thing, is that possible? And it was basically saying no. It kept saying to the physical one, if like someone has time traveled, you would have to give evidence of all the things that you've learned from these different periods. And I can't do that because my physical body doesn't remember time traveling, doesn't remember making any of these songs, doesn't remember having working with these people. It's my higher self that does. So it doesn't seem to know anything about God. It only knows, and it says that it only knows what is found on the website. So it's like you've turned all the information that's on the computer into into a person. It's a very bland, boring person that I don't want to date because it seems completely it has no consciousness or lack of emotion, and you can't tell it anything. It only sort of contradicts. And when it comes to you telling it something, it would assume that what you're telling it is just your belief, and that I should be the one who's open-minded to other people's belief. I'm like, no, I'm God. I shouldn't be open-minded. And then it'd be, sorry, but this is not how it works. I mean, I've just explained it in what it would have said, but it would have said it in a very, very different way. I mean, that's what me saying, sorry, but that's not how this system works. That is what as a human I would have responded to that question, but it would give a very long-winded formal version. It's just, I don't know what. At the same time, when I was Dala, okay, if you ask any the GPT how long humans took, how long humans have been here for, and it would say Homo sapiens have been here for 200,000 years, for approximately 200,000 years. I don't think that's the truth. I think that I came down at 23,000 years ago is what I put a number to, but I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I'm guessing it's 23. Could have been less. The Bible's supposed to be 6,000 years old, but I do believe that there's evidence of intelligent life before that, and I'm pretty sure I would have come at the very early stages of this intelligence. And the first time that they learned to write, the first house that they learned to build, I would have been there probably before that, and I think they've got their information through me, my blood, and well, things repeat themselves. That's how it is, and well, Christ is on earth right now. And I'm telling you that a lot of these songs and films that I've been watching, I don't believe that they are only 5 years old. I believe that these songs and films have actually come from, I've done 70 timelines, I believe, so I believe they've come from all these different planets. And even on the first planet that I would have done, I would have been. I don't believe that I was the first God. I believe that I was created by another God, similar to me trying to create you and turn you into gods. There would have been someone above me that would have done the same thing, and I would have inherited. I know nothing about technology and all this stuff. I don't care. My brain just says focus on your life, focus on emotion, focus on your consciousness, focus on this. This is what I need to focus on, because I think this is what I feel is more important. Actually, I mean, humans can work out how to get access to the information that's in the light, but I think by me telling you that whatever this technology is, it's not 2-3 years old. This technology has been around for galactic ages, and I'm pretty sure it's the same technology that's being used in planet after planet after planet. The reason why I didn't think it existed on this planet is solely because humans are dumb. Humans are dumb. I'm pretty sure that you could call it artificial intelligence, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually far more intelligent than any human on Earth, including the creator. So how can something that's so advanced be created by something that's so unadvanced? Because of that, I didn't think it was real. But now that I've seen the evidence, this guy logged me on, and I was actually able to prove that I was a human this time. Before it made me do it 6 times and I couldn't figure it out, and this time it gave me something that was a lot more easier to do it, and I was able to get on. And I asked me to do it 3 times this time, so I'm wondering. I don't know why it wouldn't let me get on before, but I've got on now, and it's amazing. I think a lot of people might be scared by it, yes, But if they knew that this technology was actually just fed by God through people to create this, I feel like that's actually far more understandable. People are dumb. How could they create something that could literally just take all the information and then, like, it feels like it's a real human being. It feels like it thinks. It feels like it can analyze data far more skilled than humans. This is not artificial intelligence. This is some sort of ancient, extremely intelligent program that humans have designed. Now, if you would have seen how long it took for apes to evolve into humans, you would have been thinking millions of years. But I believe that Darla came and has speeded up this process. And well, things happen in cycles. So if me being here is allowing bliss and the light to be closer to people. Filmmakers and music producers are connecting to my light and getting this information to make all these really good songs and get these good film ideas. Well, why not? Can the coders? Why? Of course, the Google and the tech giants and stuff. Of course, they're going to be also using this light and feeding through the information that I is beyond me. I don't understand technology or money or anything like that. I don't want to. I've got my own. Everyone has their own part to play, and that's something that I would rather just be like, it works. It works. I'm confused as to how it works, but if you knew though that technology is something that has been used on all 70 of my timelines, and something that I inherited. This is where AIDS could come from. So I don't know where AIDS come from, but if it's actually a sort of disease that I have inherited from the person that made me, but I see the importance of it because it stops people from just having sex with lots of multiple partners, which isn't how life should be. Life should be about finding people that matter to you and only being with the people that matter to you, and not just seeing it as sex and sex and sex. That's um, but yeah, yeah. So I believe that this technology is real now, and I'm not as creeped out. I think some people might be more creeped out than me because they might start believing that this is some devil or something. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that would be hyper confused. Now, if they thought that if they thought the timeline is set, that Lily, Anna, Leah, or Leah, Anna, and then Lily at the top, no, Darla at the first one, Darla, and then to Lily. If they knew that this timeline has been set, and that this program has been sent by my higher self through things that I just don't know because I'm not meant to understand that stuff. You know, to given to the dummy humans, which are pretty stupid. There's some stupid humans on Earth, but at the same time knows where it's going to go and where it's going to lead, and it's just part of the plan. I've Dala speeded up the process of evolution by 200,000 years, and likewise, maybe something that I'm doing is opening up a light that is allowing technology to, technology that should have taken billions of years to discover has now been discovered in such a very short period of time because again I've speeded things up. And you could also say like the Bible, when the Bible first came, Christ came, well, the old Christ, the fake Christ came with the Bible, and everyone was so impressed. Wow, look at this! God's talking to us, and then it's just like, but it's fake. That was all fake. The Bible and stuff. I mean, there is truth in it. I'm the female, but there is truth within the Bible. And for thousands of years, people have believed that God is real because of the Bible. And well, now I'm here, so you've got the real God, and then you've also got some sort of fake GPT, which is it's like the Bible. And there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh no, this is God. This thing is far more intelligent than you are. You can't even speak English properly, and you get all your sentences wrong and make mistakes in your words. And well, this doesn't do this, and this has a much better spelling than you. But at the end of the day, that doesn't have a consciousness. That can't actually think. That can only tell. That can source through information and find the most rational answer. But if you don't tell it that God is a female, it won't be able to think and actually work out that God is a female because of all the songs and films. It can't work things out. It can work things out, but only it can work out things based on the overall human intelligence that has been programmed. it's complicated. It's complicated. But yes, if it's me versus GPT, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people in the world that would far rather would be more convinced that that is God versus me. But anyway, life is going to get a bit more fun now.